out there. I'm just being silly and having fun. Wow. It is such an incredible time. What's happening right now? And I'm just sharing my experience, but I know from just scanning the field and some posts in different places that I've put up, and also I've seen that others are experiencing this. And I'm just being really pushed right now to speak what's happening with me and put it out there. And the forerunners are really experiencing this first, as usual. This is absolutely extraordinary. This is unprecedented. This is the most divine time to be alive, right here, right now. This is really happening. What I'm experiencing is a tsunami of pure source love. And it is coming from everywhere. It is coming from the earth. It's coming from the cosmos. It's coming from the sun. It's coming from all over. It's coming from the one, which is you. You're the one in your play, in your dream. And so the heart is being exploded open, bigger and brighter and stronger than ever. And by that, I mean the cosmic heart portal, the high heart, through which this entire projection, this entire simulation, this entire experience is shown, is physicalized, occurs. So, this is just the most beautiful time. It's the most auspicious moment. And words like flabbergasted, I had to look it up. I know the meaning, and I've used it in the past, but out of nowhere. I mean, it's not a word used commonly, and I have not used it in many years. But the word flabbergasted, which is literally awestruck and in shock, and serendipity, which is not coincidence. So it's like aligned, it's harmony, it's synchronicity, it's meant to be, basically. And much obliged, which means very grateful. Thank you very much, are some of the words that literally have come to me in just the last couple of hours as this tsunami of love wave hits me, and all the realizations of the magic miracle flows that has been occurring and that I'm experiencing firsthand, physicalizing along with my beloved. We're just blown away, absolutely awestruck. And the word that just came to me a little while ago is mind boggling, because these energies and what is actually happening right now is completely mind boggling in an amazing, awesome, excellent way, in the greatest way possible, which is that the mind is being dissolved, is being dismantled, disassembled, deprogrammed without effort. This is all part of what is unfolding. It is just happening because everything truly is divine soul design. You as soul, I as soul, created my own brilliant play and theater and movie and simulation. In divine time, everything is perfect, perfect divine design. So I call it divine perfection at every moment. Every moment is literally perfect. There is no judgment. There is no good or bad, right or wrong. At the highest levels of source, creator, architect, of grand order design, of God, the one, which is what we are, what you are, there is nothing except pure ultimate source love and the organic unfolding of whatever serves the soul. And whatever I, as soul, wanted to experience out of curiosity and wonder, with a wide open heart, with zero fear, zero separation, zero lack, zero trauma, because at that level, we know it's a simulation, a dream. So when you wake up from a dream and you have relief because you realize, oh, wow, okay, that scary thing or that horrible horror show, terror I was experiencing, fear, anxiety, or something traumatic, it's not real. And the same when you have a beautiful dream, you wake up feeling so good and so happy or peaceful, and that feeling just stays with you. But you know, okay, that was a dream, but maybe it opens an inspiration. Maybe it opens a possibility that why can't I experience that here? Why do I have to have limits? What is possible? Because it feels so good. And the reason it feels good is it's aligned. And there's a higher part of us, a bigger part of us that is coming back online, that is recognizing that all is possible. So, right now, for just again, I'm speaking to my own experience. I've really come to realize that's all anyone can share. Each awakening is unique and perfect and beautiful for each one. So just know that we're not here to all awaken the way that the top selling authors or teachers or these people who call themselves masters or gurus are dictating, or what happened to them. That's not the point. We're all unique and perfect, beautiful fractals of Source. And the point is, Source is looking at all the different perspectives. It's all perception here. And the beauty and the value and the totality is the wholeness, is the entire diamond. And every single fractal of this massive, complex, stunning, brilliant, sparkling diamond has a different perspective. And all of it is needed and valued. All of it is equally beautiful, equally pristine and pure. And the integration of all those perspectives, all those facets, all those fractals of this incredibly brilliant, sparkling diamond is what makes the whole. And so we're actually that. And we're returning to that, remembering that we are a whole unified being. There is no separation. There is only purity, unity, harmony, oneness, and love, total love. And the only thing that's real, and this is across all realms and all dimensions, all harmonics, everywhere, at any time, in any space, is pure, ultimate source love. And that is what all is created from in the dream, and what holds everything together. The glue that holds it all together is love. So when your heart gets blown open, and it has happened to me different times over the years where I've literally been brought to tears with the level of joy and connection and oneness that I feel for all life, for everyone, everything, regardless of the outside. Like, you can't judge a book by its cover, regardless of what the book looks like. There is a deeper connection and knowing, your own pure soul gnosis, your oversoul, your ultimate source connection, that knows that the truth is unity, and that I am all one, split, playing a game for the purposes of expansion, and that none of this is real, but it's absolutely real in the game, made to feel totally real. If you were to go to a movie or play a video game and you had a script by script breakdown of exactly what's going to happen when, that's no fun. And that takes out all the expansion, because you already know what's going on. So the true beauty of this blasting the heart open and the mind melting, everything actually melting back into love, everything dissolving, every rule, every trauma, every system and process and paradigm, everything, all separation is not real. It is part of the game we're playing. We're pretending. We broke into pieces and put on these costumes so that we could have this game and expansion. And so the good guys, the bad guys, it's all just role playing. It's all scripted. It's all what I, as soul, design because I want to experience it. And I haven't had that before. And also, I scripted everything and gave the script to the players, to the role players, which are all aspects of me. Everything in this game, in this reality, in this world, in this experience is an aspect of me, as in the big me. This is the bigger picture. This is the holistic, complete, total unity and totality of oneness and non separation that is the way that we are remembering, that is real and true, and that we are now embodying, living in this body. This level of knowing is returning. And so it is a remembering and it's a feeling. It's energetics. It is not mind. It is not logic. There's no book to this. There's no plan. There's no program. There's no mentor who can do this for us. All of it serves, just like the good guys and the bad guys, quote unquote, they're all there to give us the experience. So nothing is ever wrong. There are no mistakes. There is only divine perfection unfolding in divine design at the exact perfect divine time. It is an orchestration, like a beautiful symphony or a complex piece of art, a tapestry. It is harmonics and songs and octaves and things that we at this level have been cut off completely from and can't even imagine, which is perfect. And again, a brilliant design of the grand experiment of separation, the greatest, most sensorial, most challenging, difficult game that a soul could experience, and that we agreed to forget everything so that we could fully experience the pain and suffering at the most massive level of separation. Because separation is where all pain, fear, all that is not whole, all that is not unified, all that is not one and complete comes from. So the trauma, all of it comes from that separation. And it gives us this very unique individual experience with a lot of programming and complexity that, most people are not aware of or understand, but more and more are realizing and will realize, because this feels like a mass awakening to me. There's this idea of split timelines. I don't know if that's true. I mean, question everything and everyone. The true being is in the moment, moment to moment, breathing, coming back to center and presence, letting go as much as possible, bit by bit, of these external programs, personalities, judgments, ideas, traumas, stories, all of that. And really being here in this moment as a child of wonder, as an open heart, a curious adventure, mystery extravaganza. I mean, this is so whimsical. This is so extraordinary. This is so miraculous and magical. And there is a beautiful, organic, wild, raw flow to this that we are realizing to let go of all the ideas that we had or knowledge that we thought we know. This is a freedom. This is a freedom frequency. Doesn't have any rules, doesn't have any protocols, doesn't have any past or future, any stories. There's no gurus, all of that is part of the game. And the dream of separation is to give the power away to these external ideas. Total freedom frequency, which is the ultimate unity and the totality of oneness. A whole unified being has nothing to fear, has no worries, no concerns, no lack. It does not exist in that frequency. It cannot. Everything is frequency, and we're returning to that remembrance. And it's a knowing that's within all of us. And so we're remembering this, and it's a feeling, it's embodied. You feel it in your body. And to actually remember this in the human body, which is a super dense avatar and costume, the hero, the absolute hero that has had to endure eons of trauma and torture and agony and pain of the worst kind, physical, emotional, financial, all the things in survival paradigm, which is the most terrifying horror show available, as we all know. If you've been in this experience, I mean, you're totally exposed to that, and you realize it's very, very brutal here. And so there's been all kinds of, trauma and the despair and the wanting to check out and the exhaustion at all levels, emotional, physical. You're carrying, possibly each one is unique and different, but if you're a forerunner, a big soul, basically just take on more. So you're going to have collective, planetary, ancestral, familial, past lives, all the parallel lives, just a lot, everything, all kinds of stuff that we're not aware of. And there's implants, there's parasitic implants, energetic, physical, all levels, and etheric. And so it's a lot. And we didn't know this because that's part of the brilliant design to take it to the max. And the whole point was because it's in unity, it's utopia, and that there is no pain, it doesn't exist. There's only bliss and oneness. So there is this entire experience that we're curious about, because at that level, there is no pain, and it's a game and it's not real. Uh, what would it be like to experience pain and suffering, darkness to the nth degree, and then beyond that, I feel is what we really just kept taking it further and further. So no one does anything to us. That's all part of the game. Victim victimizer is part of the game. It's part of separation. It's part of the illusion that's completely real when you're here. So when you wake up, for me it's been decades, three decades or so. There's a knowing intellectually, but yet you can't embody it physically, because there's so much trauma and things carried in the body, and programming and implants as by soul of divine design, that the expansion is occurring because the soul wanted that. And so everything serves, but it won't make any sense to the human. Of course not. How could it? It's like if you're playing a video game and it's virtual reality and it totally feels real, and you've got the headset on and it's actually happening. But then when you take off the headset, or you stop playing a video game, or you leave a movie theater, it's not real. So you're not, it's not holding on. You're not taking that home with you. But this is obviously totally real. And now we're finally able to access these higher levels of awareness and frequency, because we've had to endure so much and cleared so much and suffered through so much and transmuted so much, becoming much stronger and stronger with every challenge. Every breakdown leads to a breakthrough. And the repetitiveness, the looping was also all part of the inversion and the upside down, backwards, inside out world by design. So again, no one does anything to us. It's for us, by us, and that's us as soul. There is no free will other than at the divine will, the soul will, the source will level, because that's the whole architect and designer of the game. The human thinking we had free will, and freaking out and stressing so much over decisions and choices, all serves because it's massive expansion, and you carry that guilt or that trauma. Oh, I did this, therefore this happened, or I didn't do this and then this happened. And all these things that we really suffer incessantly and intensely here. But it is an uber duper duper crazy marathon. And it's so extreme and intense and severe. And we made it. Like, we get to this point now it's so intense. It's clearing everything that's not love, that's not this purity and not this neutrality of awareness, of balance, of centering, of calm and peace, because it's all from within. Every single thing is being projected out from within in the movie, in my own movie, in your own movie. And then there's overlap. It's very complex. I don't understand it all, but the main thing is to focus on yourself. So as you just go through what you have to go through, and you beat yourself up, you criticize, you blame, all kinds of physical and emotional, financial, and heartbreak and terrible things happen. Your resilience and your strength digs deeper. You have to dig deep, and wanting to check out the despair. These were all programs as well. There's a lot of quote unquote interference and blocks. I call them mastery initiations and mastery tests, because ultimately my own knowing and experience and feeling is nothing happens to me without my soul permission. And that nothing, I mean, it's a game, it's all simulations. I don't think anything's real anywhere. It doesn't matter what realm, it's all simulations, it's energy playing, these different dreams out, these different theaters and shows. And so there is a point where you are able to have a higher level of awareness. Usually you get bits of that, and then you come back in to the depth of pain and suffering to do more, to do more. And honestly, you go, as we all experience, you go so far beyond what you thought you could handle and what you thought was the end. You have no idea how strong and powerful and resilient you really are, and how hard it is here in the density of the body with all this inversion and things completely. Our life force has been, totally cut off and blocked and put into separation into these chakras and energy centers. It's really one whole unified, powerful flow. I see it as like a brilliant white light with golden essences and diamond rainbow sparkles. And so at every level, there's just so much has been done to cause strife and, reverse the flow of energy and invert it and turn it inside out. And tremendous fear, the survival programming here, the terrors of the past life traumas, and the all the different things we've all had to go through is just massive. It's so massive. You don't even realize till you're clearing at the deepest levels how much fear is held in your body, how much trauma and pain. And again, we're talking ancestral, collective, planetary. It's way beyond just the character, me, in this particular incarnation. That is very heroic. This particular incarnation is the incarnation where we chose to wake up and to really clear it all. And that's why it has just been hellish. And especially since 2012, when this process occurred energetically and etherically, but the physicalization has just been delayed because at the soul level, I sense that the soul, as you get to these higher frequencies and you drop so much of these, the torture and the agony and the real traumas and feeling all that in the body and the clearing of collective stuff and all of these things, implants and who knows what is in there, um, you realize that the soul loves it and it's fun. And we're merging in with soul. Soul's merging into the physical. Never, ever even come close to happening before, because this level of density is so heavy. It's so primitive and archaic that there's no way it could hold the light of what the soul, the frequencies. It would just burn out immediately like lightning and, kill the avatar. So this has been a real experiment. I don't know how many times it's been attempted. I'm guessing multiple times, and blew up the whole experiment, and obviously the avatars and everything with it. But it's all training, and it's like the highest levels of the ultimate video game. This Earth School, this experience, this fallen simulation, the inversion. And so we have actually survived in a physical, heavy, dense suit where we lost, 99% of our senses, of our abilities, of our knowing, our knowledge, our wisdom. by design, we chose to forget so we could remember. It was a game, and you designed it in the most intricate, way possible, like in finding a needle in a haystack and then some. And the joy of the expansion that occurs with the endurance, with the uber, ultra, super duper marathon that we've been on, taking it to the max, jumping off the cliff just over and over. The soul is just experiencing a lot of glee and joy, and it's like being on the wildest roller coaster because the soul doesn't experience emotions and it doesn't have any fear. It knows it's a game. So that's why we're the real heroes. And now, all this incredible levels of suffering, especially for those of us who've been awake for a long time, who are massive empaths, who feel the oneness and unity, the benevolence, the love, and have had to endure all kinds of torture and carry so much trauma and be oversensitive and labeled and ostracized, made fun of. And the disconnect here is so massive, so dark, that people can do what they can do to animals and other people in the land and children and women and men and all of it. And we've all been there, just to really get the big picture. The neutrality is there is no victimizer. To really play the game, you have had to do both sides and be all of it. And that's the whole point. Source wants to get all perspectives in each fractal, and that is based on all of your color, your body shape, your background, your abilities, your disabilities and physical, all of it, your trauma, just everything, all that you're born into with the ancestrals and familials and everything. And then those of us who chose to take on massive planetary and collective darkness as well. So it's quite a friggin' feat what we've done. It's beyond words. It's just absolutely immense and massive and mammoth, and it is the pinnacle right now, the turning point, the spiral activating, the crystallization of the physical of everything, and in this energy. This is a frequency shift. So it's massive. I call it the quantum catapult, and we've had a bunch of these leading up to this, but this is just huge, and it is such a pristine perfection of design. What a time to be alive, to actually be in this. Oh, yes, it's uncomfortable at times, and the jitters and the energies and the restlessness, the mind going crazy as programs are cleared, and just constantly having to endure, and you just get more practice. That's the mastery, and you bring yourself to center. You remind yourself you're perfect. Everything's perfect because there's a big battle within. Everything comes from the war within, and that's part of the design, that you are not able to see all these things about yourself and you're criticizing, and the separation, right? So as you get more practice, and just by design, man, it's a timing thing, the awareness. This is not to take away from the human and what we've gone through and go through. My God, like again, there's totally heroic, totally honoring, and like extreme reverence and gratitude and love. And, we're basically the glory of this entire game, experiment, school realm, whatever you want to call it. So everything is because of the human, and the heroism and forgetting everything and having to totally experience all this is real and survive. Have to fear all the time, almost all the time, and have addictions of disease and burnouts and illnesses and getting older and inflammation and all the things. It's all reversing. It's all regenerating because we've come to the time where it is time, and we've made it so far. So it's incredible. We're incredible. It's really time to soften the heart, soften everything, slow down, bring yourself back to center, and just practice that saying yes to life, to whatever's hurting and bothering you, physical pain, emotional pain, financial pain, whatever it is. The non-resistance is what keeps it in place. Everyone knows the saying, what you resist persists. It's true, but you're resisting based on the design. It's not you controlling it. There's no control here. And we're letting go. You got to let go completely of control and let go of attachment, and we're returning to the wonder and curiosity and freedom of the child, of the flow, of complete safety, protection. Those don't even exist. It's innate and inherent. A whole unified being has nothing to worry about ever, ever. Cannot exist when you're whole and unified. And that's what we're returning to. That's what we're remembering, that we truly are. And we are the one. So becoming one with self, the inside job, the inner work, to let go and to be kind with self and gentle and know that it occurs in its own divine timing, the letting go. And there's a lot of stages. You think it's over, and then bam, wham, you get slammed, and just like out of nowhere. And you begin to just become more and more strong and more resilient. And there is despair, and there is wanting to get out and, check out and all of these things. But the design dictates whatever is serving at every time, every moment, all involved. But the main player, your player number one, you're the source of your whole reality and experience. So it's based on what the soul wants and what serves. And so that's how things happen, tragedies and all of these traumas and different things. And the main thing is to focus on self, because we are coming to the time where we're remembering, and family and all, it's beautiful. And it can also be very hard, but it's all programming, it's all role playing. But there's a real love and gratitude for all these aspects of me and the role playing, and all the difficulties and pain and challenging and misunderstandings and all of it, the betrayals and devastation, all of it. There's a brilliant awareness of the brilliance of the design of this diamond, this diamond design. It's diamond time. And it's such a reverence. It's such a like awestruck, awesome feeling of no words can capture, tears falling down my face, because it's emotionally so powerful when everything just melts into the heart. Literally, the heart explodes in the limitations. There are no limitations, and the capacity is just massive. And it can be very discombobulating physically, and that's where you just slow down, and judgments have to drop away, and a real prioritizing self and care, which can be very challenging. It's all part of the design that you as soul brilliantly made up for you as human to heroically and courageously and so resiliently carry out. Because on the other side, man, all these things that we go through, make it through, and then we get to this level of alchemy and transmutation. Or master alchemists. You have to be. I feel there's a lot of training, a lot of practice goes into even being able to incarnate here as the top of the top, the cream of the crop, because this is by far the hardest, most brutal, challenging, supreme, ultra mastery game here. And so through all of that, you just get stronger and stronger, and you learn to let go of the external and to feed your internal world. But you will struggle because it serves, and you'll beat yourself up and then let go, be, back and forth until a stabilization, which is now occurring for forerunners that we're anchoring in the oneness and unity, the purity codes and templates. I call it pure, pristine paradise, Eden. It's this golden, just incredibly brilliant light of sparkling divinity that is just washing over everything, and like a waterfall and a wave and spiraling spheres of like sparkling gold brilliant white light with rainbow diamond, fractals and sparkles is just transforming the whole physicality and the energy and the field bit by bit. And it's really happening. So we will have weird symptoms and discomforts, and it's all part of the process, Deep breaths, man. The number one thing, deep breaths. And if you can, just reset yourself, step out, fresh air. Some people suggest clapping, jumping up and down, or shaking tree in Qigong, just basically jiggling and shaking the whole body. You can do it gently. You can hold on to something. You can sit if you're balanced or you're dizzy, if you have issues. I did a lot of stagnancy and sitting and not moving and carrying massive amounts of darkness, and it was total torture, and it was perfect. So just know that there's no right or wrong way. And the harder you have it, if you're not able to participate in the inversion, like be a successful spiritual practitioner or have a spiritual business, or, do yoga and you're not allowed to move much and you just, stuck and exhausted and sitting in a lot of toxicity. I would have a very extreme soul signature and a very extreme experience, but I just bring that up. Like, we feel like the biggest fuck ups, and you're actually the biggest super soul, because it is way harder to not be able to do anything in the inversion and to be looking like a total failure and a loser and zero success. All these programmed ideas are bullshit. But that also served, and to not earn income and to have tremendous fear and to have all these credentials. In my case, three university degrees, very high level, and just completely burnt out and not able to do anything but beat myself up and sit in isolation in toxic sludge, darkness, hells over and over, and just dealing with all this very intense torture energy, very agonizing. But what I can say is, I'm wanting to check out and carrying collective suicidal states and horror show thinking and massive empathy and feeling everything and feeling responsible for everyone and every living being, and just literally all kinds of things, perfectionism and carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and wanting to save everyone and everything, and feeling such love that it is so painful, and feeling like you've got to fix the world and save everyone and all these things. It's just exhausting and really brutal, and not sleeping and having eating disorder for like 23 years or something. A lot. And that, there's just so much to these things. It's so complex. But what I would say now, and not being able to participate in exchange, doing everything for free, helping thousands of people in spontaneous soul flow, the purity of the organic unfolding. Yes, I was imbalanced. I burnt out a lot, just had to come back to, yeah, center, but I never died. I wasn't allowed to, and that was torture, and all kinds of crazy things. So, what I just want to say with all that is, the worse, the harder, you're going through stuff, and the less you're able to fit in here. So, the more failures, and if you don't have any energy, and I tried different things, but nothing was allowed to work. But of course, I didn't know that. And I paid people a lot of money, and I gave a lot away, my life savings, a lot to help animals and people. And then, almost had nothing for myself, and people that I paid a lot of money to help me, that I was really skeptical and careful. I was very also naive at times, and just so optimistic, and it's all perfect because wow, what a juicy story. Like, that's the whole point. You didn't come here for like a 30-minute movie where there's no twists and turns and blocks and all kinds of crazy, things that happen. You came here for the real deal, and there's no needing to rush it. You can't. There's no you're supposed to wake up faster. I know some people say that, and for me that's bullshit because the real juiciness is in the struggle. I'm not saying like we love the struggle. The soul does, and the soul's in charge, not the human. So but we're coming to this beautiful merger through all this, and that's the ultimate. What a dream. We're actually marrying the soul and the human in the physical avatar, the upgraded, the true, DNA. Spiraling back online, I've been shown golden, beautiful DNA unfurling and coming alive, and diamond rainbow sparkles, and just really beautiful crystals, jewels, and gems is what we are. Our skin, our eyes, our hair, everything is that, and totally transforming our blood, our organs, all that is just lightening up, more light energy. So it's releasing a lot, it's rearranging. I don't know what the heck it involves. It's very complex, by just giving yourself that, space and doing whatever you need to. And it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Like, that's the hardest part. And that serves too what our family and friends and others think of us. Because the pure heart is the pure heart. And that's the number one thing. And in the true pure world that we're now moving into, this frequency, it's all frequency based. The currency is your frequency, is your pure heart integrity, is the oneness and unity of just wow, honor, and and it's just so profound. It's everything. It's everything, is knowing that we're all connected. It's not trying to save anyone, though. That is a program, and you go through it all and you learn. I was a champion rescuer and I didn't have a choice. People say, oh, don't do that, or why, put all that energy into yourself. And I tried, it didn't work by design, because now I understand nothing was ever wrong, and it's massive expansion, and it's a super soul that takes all that on. And so, many of us who don't fit into any of this, the inversion is because we're not here for that. We're here for the new world, and everybody serves. So there's no good or bad. Nothing's wrong. They're not better. We're not better. It's really just understanding it's all bullshit. And now we're going to the real deal. And that's very exciting. That's really awesome. Yes. So this is what we've waited for. It's been eons in the making, and each one is executing their own unique, perfect design and path in their own perfect divine time. Again, it's a divine orchestration, and that is the real awareness, is moment to moment. I am perfect. This is perfect. Feeling all the pain and all of it, and the stuckness and struggle and the wanting to give up and despair and just whatever may happen. Just you just have to go through it. That's how we learn and remember and experience. Embodied wisdom comes from lived experience. You can't deny that. You have to know it and live it yourself. No one can give it to you. There's no point in that, and because it's not real, and the authenticness of what we truly are, and each one is unique and beautiful and perfect. So learning and remembering that and allowing that, and not having to people please or hide or conform, or we all have that here. It's like you're brainwashed so deeply, and then if you feel conflict and you feel energies and you're hypersensitive, you're trying to help, and you're not comfortable when it's, when there are bad things happening or being done. And there's all kinds of things. When you're more sensitive, you have to be much more strong as a human and as a soul to handle all that than someone who's not connected. But again, everybody is equal at the soul level, and it's just a matter of some take on more. And the other thing is, you don't know who's real and who's not. There are non-player characters, NPC. I didn't know that term, but it came up, and people who play video games know that, non-player characters. So there's just characters that are there for density and for more intensity, more challenges. So think about Free Guy. If you haven't seen the movie, it's a great movie, but there's all these characters that just provide, background, but they really add to the extremeness of the situation. So when everybody's conforming, or everybody's just ignoring, atrocities or whatever, animals or people's stuff being done, it makes you feel crazy. Like, what's wrong with everyone here? Now, the number one thing is neutralization, and that is a real master alchemist, a grand master alchemist, I call it, is basically neutral and has done the work. And in divine time by design, the timing is that they are now in a space of more neutrality. So I'm still, have to remind myself to relax when things are happening or I'm witnessing stuff out there, especially with nature, and just undoing these programs. But it is getting easier. And say yes. Say it out loud. I say yes to this pain, this physical pain, this emotional pain, this financial pain, this fear. I say yes to this restlessness. I say yes to feeling like I'm going crazy. I say yes to the sadness, the despair, the rage, the grief, all of it. I say yes. And that is wholeness and unity and coming back to one. And when we're in the moment and we breathe into the heart and we come back to presence, we are always unified. And that's why it's more peaceful. And you're actually accessing 100% of your field and your awareness. And it's a very calm place. And we're here to remember that through practice and all these initiations, mastery tests, whatever you want to call them. It's all part of it. So you get to a point where you stop saying, when is it going to end? I said that a lot, and it got better and then it got worse. And that's the waves and that's the excitement, like a roller coaster, an amazing ride for the soul. And the human now is coming on board with realizing the brilliance of this whole thing. And we're becoming one with the soul again. We're returning to that which we really are, with the wisdom and the strength and resilience of the separation and being in a physical body. But the body is going to be much lighter. And massive gifts, shape shifting, flying, levitating, teleporting, bilocating, telepathy, being able to create things out of thin air. You are the technology. You're everything. The body, the breath is the portal. You're the med bed. You're the regeneration chamber. You're all of it. And you can literally, you're the replicator. You can create anything out of thin air through the pure heart integrity. It's all alignment and frequency and pure heartness. It's all from the whole unified oneness and unity perspective and frequency. I call it freedom frequency. So that has no formula. Freedom has no fucking formula. So all the shit in the inversion, all these books and gurus and processes, out the door, melted, dissolved. And the blender of forgiveness, I call it, forgiving ourself and our soul, the betrayal that you feel when you realize and you wake up, for the separation pain and all of it. It becomes the unity cyclone, the cyclone of unity from the blender of forgiveness. And it is within self. It's with self first and it is inside. It's an inside job. And so you'll just play the game of external and wanting to go external. It's all perfect. It all serves until the war within starts to subside and the unity and wholeness through the increased awareness returns and you become one with yourself. And then you can coach yourself and be there for self and hold yourself, hold space no matter what's happening. You can actually just talk to yourself. I say yes, and then breathe, and it hurts. And sometimes you're still going to be stuck, and it might be hours or days. And it's all perfect because remember, nothing's ever wrong. There are no mistakes. Everything serves the soul, and the soul is in charge saying, oh, you do this to her or do this to him or whatever, and oh, this needs to happen because that'll really, expand, or oh, this doesn't need to happen anymore. So you change the outcome as you become aware, because there's infinite timelines and it's based on frequency. This is just my own perception and awareness and understanding and feeling. And so the peace, man, it changes the what we need to go through in the divine time. Whatever we had to go through, or we need to, it's still, whatever has to happen, needs to happen, will happen. But the pure isness, which is neutrality, is it just is. There's no story, there's no attaching emotion. So the reaction stops and there's a peaceful pausing and return to center. And then maybe if it's needed, a response. But there can be lots of non-responding. That's the ultimate freedom. I have no opinion. I'm not going to participate in, the blah 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 and the this versus that and against and separation, all that. That's a totally different frequency. It's old, and it's what we were stuck in by design for the expansion for years and years. And yes, in the game there was bad and good, and the bad guys, upside down everything and harvest and interfere and distort and all kinds of things. So it's very complex, man. There's no blame, there's no shame, there's no complaining, there's none of that fragmented stuff in the wholeness and unity game. You just, I don't know, all that stuff just melts. It really dismantles, and that's why I received a few years ago that the collapse and the disclosure is within. It's an inside job, and I'm disclosing to myself who I really am and who I am not because I went through the experience of contrast and living these things that I realize I'm not that. And so, but letting go really of all identities and stories is freedom, and be returning back to that pure creator in divine time. It's a flow. And now there's just more physicalization. Finally, it's been like, what is it, 14 years? 13 years, going on 14 years. Yeah. So this thing, man, whew, got delayed, delayed, delayed. If you notice, nobody was right in their predictions. And the last time was 2023 that many of us really felt. And it was happening. But I feel there was an opportunity to extend the separation. So I went further and further. Because why not go big or go home? And so I used to wonder if the soul was psychotic and sick, but now I don't feel that way. All those things that you felt, that they will melt away in divine time as you balance and you become a higher frequency through all you've endured. This isn't like, oh, there's a formula, easy way. For some, it can happen maybe overnight or fast, but most people, what serves is this gradual back and forth. But things are really speeding up, as we're all aware of. And so don't compare. Don't look at, oh, it's happened this, or I'm not. Just be with yourself, trust yourself, slow down, be gentle and soft. The master, the most powerful heart, is soft and gentle and laughs a lot. Is the, what's it called? The happy fool is the unified being. It's the child playing games. It's a lightness and wonder and curiosity. It doesn't attach. It doesn't fight. It doesn't argue. It doesn't care. It's not interested in going into these lower frequencies anymore. It's about lightness and like, you do you, I do me, and we are free. That's true integration and unity. You don't have to have everyone doing the same thing if you get how the game works. It's you. It's you. You do you, be one with you, have that soft, gentle heart, be your authentic, wild and crazy, fun, silly, goofy self, whatever that is. And don't try to fit into anything in this upside down world. No limits, no limits, unlimited, infinite possibilities. We made the impossible possible. We went through the densest, deepest, darkest, multiple hells and came out alive and stronger than ever and remembering. And nothing's going to stop this. It's already past the point, thank God. And it's catapulting now, or quantum. Woo, flying. So very exciting what's possible. Don't worry about the outside and all that bullshit. There is no money in unity. There's no need for exchange. You don't own anything. It's all energy. It's everyone's taken care of. You're already at that abundance of the frequency, and when you create anything out of thin air, because you're a full unified being, what could you ever lack? What could you ever need or want for? You won't. It'll be a whole different adventure, fun, wonder, ecstasy, bliss, innocence, orgasmic. This is orgasmic energy is our true frequency, and all the pleasures and joys of just love and playfulness and silliness and goofiness. and fun and lots of laughter, lots of fun, lots of playing. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Woo, we sure earned it, man. It's our time. So, I've spoken for 55 minutes. Cool. And I just want to say that that's what I'm feeling and experiencing. And yeah, and my beloved and I, it's been hell. 17 years of massive hells because of what I took on. And then we agreed together as soul designers to max it out. So there would be a lack of awareness on what I was going through, massive suffering and all the pain that would cause. And then the ultimate thing was the love. The love never dies. True love never dies. And so, wow, despite, wanting to separate and feeling so many times that that was the only way, it never could happen. And 17 years later, what a gift. And reverse aging, all of this stuff, it's just, you don't have to worry about anything now. All right, 5555, that's my cue. That's for me just unity and oneness and pure source. So much love. I've been wanting to come on and share, but wow, so much happening. And it was what, 3 rainbows 2 days ago and one day, and a golden eagle shining away in the sun. Bald eagles here, but just shining away. So beautiful. And it honestly, I couldn't even talk. I couldn't text. I couldn't voice message. I couldn't do anything. And it was trippy and discombobulating, but also it's amazing. So that's the level of letting go. You have no control and you don't want to control things because it's so awful to be tense and clenching and all of that in the body. You want ecstasy, man. You want bliss. You want to be loose and just limber and complete and total relaxation, complete and total freedom, and just swaying in the breeze and the wind. Doesn't that sound lovely? Or floating? I see this golden lake of love, and it's just you're floating in it, and you're playing, and it's sparkling, and you're just bathed and immersed and held, and just loved and nourished and tenderly, tender loving care and support and all of it. There's nothing bad, nothing scary, nothing to fear. It's just wonderful. It's one. It's full of oneness and unity. Yeah. So breathe, stay present, be with what is. Just keep practicing. I say yes. I say yes. Embrace all life, all of ourself, all the good, bad, ugly. That's the true master. And that's when everything can transform because there's no more separation. There's just love of oneness, of unity, of harmony. Everything completely shifts. It's a frequency shift. All right. Happy everything. Solstice. I don't know. All these things. It's just, the energy is just a massive tsunami wave of love now for me. And wow. So much love. Breathe and return to your home, your center within you. You're the one. Become one with yourself. That's what we're doing. Mwah.